My name's Trey Vizsla.
I'm Skylar Starfury.
Hi, my name's George.
I'm a postdoctorate at Columbia University.
Trey Vizsla, Mandalore Technical Institute.
I was told there was going to be a free lunch after this.
Basically studying the impact that the Neo-Crusaders had on indigenous societies in the Outer Rim.
Ride or die, Clan Vizsla Brigade. Go hard, we die. Ride or die, blood in, blood out.
Right? Free lunch.
A jetpack brigade. Gatling gun, let's go!
I'm really glad to be here, yeah.
So, what are your first impressions of Din Djarin?
Thought his armor's pretty cool, man. You know, if I ever saw him lying dead with it, I mean, I'd be the first one to swipe that.
Din Djarin is a solid guy, abides by the Mandalorian code, and you know what? If you want to get to know him, he's willing to have a knife fight with you.
Here's this highly traditional Mandalorian man who is, you know, a sign of many of the toxic things that have basically destroyed our culture.
You can't get to know somebody unless you have a knife fight with them.
But throughout the series, we see him kind of progress and become more open-minded and
He takes out dirty banthas, he kills the Ewoks, he used his flamethrower like a real Mandalorian should. Nothing but respect for that gentleman.
You start to see that with, you know, the friends he gathers around him. They're very diverse and multi-species and cultural. He's more open to new things, and I think it's really wonderful.
That's the type of armor I'd be willing to sacrifice a green baby for.
I really don't think it's a big deal for Din Djarin to adopt a little cute baby Yoda.
Let me tell you something, that's a cute baby. I'll respect that baby hard.
Because it's really a part of Mandalorian culture to adopt babies from battlefields that we create because we're savages.
I'll caress that baby, I'll put sauce on that baby. I would take that baby and I would dip it into a river of bes'kar and make a little baby popsicle out of it.
Anyway, me and my robot partner, we just adopted a pair of Ewoks and they're so wonderful. They do have some strange things, like they've been eating some of our weaker children.
But I wouldn't defy the code for that baby. That's a no-no. And that's what Din Djarin did.
He did break the rules, so, I mean, he had it coming.
And that don't sit right with the guild.
At the same time, like, as a union, I expect the unions, you know, to cover our backs, to help their own, to look out for their own. But, you know, what they did shooting at Din Djarin, man, it's, I don't know, man.
So, how did you feel about that scene where the Mandalorian takes off his helmet?
Totally unrealistic. What, did Ryan Johnson write that scene?
So actually, like, helmets are kind of an old school Mandalorian tradition. I'm a new Mandalorian and we don't wear helmets because we're not like repressed psychopaths that are afraid of everything and try to kill everything.
This is all effort on the part of the Galactic News Network to destroy Mandalorian culture.
The reason I'm really wearing this right now is because the recent Rhodian virus, and it's not racist when I say that because it does come from Rhodians. I have Rhodian friends.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something to all the little peons out there. Masks don't work.
It's not about me getting the virus, but it's about me giving it to other people.
Masks won't stop you from getting sick. Helmets bring the girls to the dick. So how do you feel about the way in which Din Djarin interacts with the Tusken Raiders?
No, you don't say Tusken Raiders. That's actually a derogatory term that was coined by colonial moisture farmers who basically came in and stole all their lands.
They're people, right? They're humans? Or something else? I mean, some of them, I mean, they got some curves on them, but...
These are a people. They call themselves the Sand Persons, and they have a rich culture that we don't really understand because of words like Tusken Raiders.
Even though the Sand people are weird and evil and eat children at night, I'm okay that Din Djarin is friends with them, I guess. I'm totally happy.
Din Djarin really kind of crosses over a lot of barriers by connecting and talking to them and treating them like the Sand Persons that they are.
What's the question? I'm
So, how
sorry.
do you feel about Jawas?
Jawas. I mean, blue collar, enterprising. You know what I mean? Can't really blame them for anything. I mean, they do steal, but at the same time, like, gotta do what you gotta do to survive, right?
I mean, if you ask me, the Mandalorian's kind of a pussy with the Jawas. I mean, he only sniped a couple of them and people get all crying about it.
I kind of hesitate when people claim that they're stealing stuff when we've stolen almost everything, including their homeworld from them.
To be honest with you, I'm not a fan of attacking first, but I think what he did is okay, because what I like to say is that it was a pre-attack against their future attack, which means that their attack actually happened before his pre-attack in response to his attack in retrospect of the original attack.
Blaster's bad. Blaster's bad.
I used to live in a neighborhood, man, before Jawas moved in. When they did, dude, let me tell you this story.
Blaster's bad.
Taking out my girl on the speeder, right? Nice little dinner, came back. Next thing you know, check it, it's on cinder blocks.
So how do you feel about the frog lady in episode 2? What?
So I am kind of upset that the lizard, we didn't get a chance to kind of know her story or even understand the language she was speaking, because the Mandalorian obviously is not interested in that.
People are all upset about this whole frog lady thing. I wouldn't even let that dirty little reptile on my plane. I would have put it in a goddamn cage.
And then the fact that he lets his child eat the babies of another sentient being. I would call social services immediately.
Oh yeah, no, that was nasty. Absolutely unacceptable. You can't let babies eat raw eggs. That's dangerous for them.
Those are not eggs. Those are love pearls, okay? Blossoming with potential.
You want to put it on the pan, cook it up, fry it. You can poach them. Eggs Benedict's absolutely delicious. Not too highbrow for me. Any eggs are prepared, as long as you cook them, they're safe for children that way.
It's not funny and it's not humor. Cancel them.
I would have eaten the lizard too, probably. Not the head though. That's unsanitary. All right, give me a question.
What do you think about the portrayal of wildlife in the show?
Oh, you mean food?
I generally believe how a culture treats things like its environment and wildlife are very indicative of, the health of that culture. And as you can see, we Mandalorians live on a deserted fucking planet with no atmosphere anymore.
Yeah, I mean, when I'm bulking, I probably hunt just like Din Djarin, when I'm really trying to build up some weight and muscle, I'm definitely liable to take out a few banthas a week.
And I think it's because we have a very bad attitude towards wildlife. We see it as a commodity, I mean, how is it that a mudhorn is worth more dead than alive? It's so tragic.
54 grams of protein per hour. In my peaking mode, I'm gonna go after a crate dragon. If I can get me an egg, hoorah.
Well, have you guys ever thought about it from the crate dragon's point of view? Imagine a little tiny metal man flying into your butthole and then exploding out of your mouth with fire. I mean, it's devastating. Just because they're scary doesn't mean we have to label them as monsters. We have to try to better understand these things.
You know what I'm gonna do, that crate dragon? I'm gonna enter through his goddamn mouth and I'm gonna eat my way down to the anus and then I'm gonna fly up.
I mean, I don't know what that means. So they're a danger to eat?
No, they're in danger.
So I could eat them?
They're in danger. They're on an endangered species list.
So they're poisonous then. That's what you're telling me, right? It's poison. That's why they're in danger?
No, they're not poisonous. They're just there's a limited amount of them. They're in danger.
Okay. What do you think about the Mandalorian helping the Empire?
Oh, well, the Empire, I mean, is obviously not very popular in Mandalorian circles with the Great Purge.
Let me tell you something about the Empire. I mean, do you know what percentage of their high-ranking officers are female or an alien? I don't know, but I'm sure it's really racist.
They killed a lot of Mandalorians, but on the other hand, they really got some great organization skills.
Okay, these guys are so regressive. They go around in these giant starships that are shaped like penises, and they basically rape the galaxy of justice.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously the tyranny, the destruction of much of the galaxy, mass genocide, but
I think they're fascist. I really think they're fascist. They don't belong in the galaxy, and we should silence them.
They make great speeches.
Are any of you guys fascists?
I actually met this one guy, Darth John. Great guy. He killed my wife and children, but great guy once you get to know him.
Well, the Empire wasn't all that bad. The Old Republic was experiencing massive decline in economic growth, specifically when it came to manufacturing in the core regions of the galaxy. What the Empire did do when they came in was create several important government and military public works that employed millions of beings. Is that so bad?